What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, D and dual commentary. We have DAR Phoenix 1243 versus Lean Drim 934. This is a full match. We've got Infernities versus, well, unknown deck at this point. Alright, so it looks like Phoenix opened up with Armageddon Knight. Fuck, I didn't see that other card that he played with the Armageddon Knight. Anyways, he went into Lavalval Chain. That's basically, well, he dumped an Archfiend in the graveyard for Armageddon Knight, and he had Lavalval Chain dump, I believe it was Necromancer, and then he put both of the guys back into the graveyard, or he brought them back both from the graveyard with Launcher. That got him a barrier. He has a card in his hand now. All Leandrin did is dump a Treeborn in the graveyard with Foolish, and now Phoenix is like, okay, well, if you're just going to give me free shots, here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to dump another Archfiend in the graveyard. I'm going to reborn it using Necromancer. And I would say right now, well, oh crap, he has Instant Fusion. This is bad. With the Instant Fusion, well, okay. He has a lot of options here. First off, he could just go into Berserk and just banish the Treeborn Frog to begin. You know, he could just banish the damn Treeborn Frog. But then, I guess he could go into Abyss Dweller. I mean, that would stop Treeborn for like 2 turns also. I think that he probably want to attack first to see if he can, you know, to see if he has like Gorge or something like that. Because you have to remember, he does have Barrier locked and loaded. You know what I mean? Alright, so he's giving up his Necromancer for another Archfiend. That's going to get, let's put that back, which is going to get him the 3rd break. So he has a barrier and I believe 3 breaks back there. Okay, so he summons Battle Fader. Yeah, I think I'd let the Battle Fade. I don't know. No, I'm trying to think if I would have let the Battle Fader go there, because potentially you could have just OTK'd, you know what I mean? If you burn the barrier, but then it's like, what if he has like Gorge too? You know what I mean? Alright, so it looks like he's going to go for Risa. What the fuck do you even send at this point? Like, you obviously can't send Archfiend. That would just be dumb. Yeah, the summon should be good. And don't get me wrong, I actually like Monarchs a ton right now. I don't like this matchup at all. So he's gonna spin Lavalval Chain, which I think that Phoenix will be fine with. I know that he probably would have wanted to use that second effect for Lavalval Chain, but I think he'll be okay with that. If nothing else, just to dump like another Street Patrol or something like that. I wouldn't personally burn a barrier on that. I would just break it. I think that's what he's gonna do. Yep, he breaks it, probably banishing Launcher. Okay. Down goes Risa. Alright, so he's going to use Econ on Archfiend. I think he might barrier that. I don't know why he let that go. I mean, yeah, you can break your own Archfiend, but I don't know. It feels like your field is like kind of dwindling down. Like, I don't know. I think I would have barriered that. Just because I kind of want to, I don't want to give Leandrin like 4 more turns. Like, the fact that I had a huge field that I could just OTK you with, I don't know. I mean, now because you still have to use one of your attacks on Battle Fader, and then you need to start hitting your opponent in the face. You know what I mean? So Lavalval Chain takes down Battle Fader. And I mean, I'm pretty sure he searched all of the breaks. Now, he may have only searched 2 of the breaks. I know he searched a barrier and, what's it called? 2 breaks. Okay, so out comes Jack Frost. He's going to activate that effect. Now, Jack Frost, I would definitely... Alright, so he's going to barrier that. Okay, Archfiend goes through. It's actually 500 more because this card gives it 500 attack. Yeah, so he actually should have taken 2300 attack. I expect Treeborn to come out. You know, Dark Dust Spirit would be really legit here. I'm just saying. He probably doesn't have it, but, you know, Genzo too, actually. It's odd how Genzo, a card from the 4th Yu-Gi-Oh set, Feral Servant, is still relevant. You know what I mean? Like some, and he's at 3. You know what I mean? It's not like he's even limited or anything. It's just funny how cards from way back when can just be simple monsters and still good. The fact that he only has Treeborn Frog and couldn't do anything else, that is not a good omen. So he's gonna eat another 23. Again, he should have taken 1,000 more damage by now. Unless somehow the Archfiend doesn't get 500 attack, which I don't know. It says that all Fiend monsters you control gain 500 attack. So you see he's going to use the Treeborn Frog. Okay, so he's going to blow up his own Archfiend. I mean, he doesn't need it anymore. He's already used the barrier. Treeborn Frog is coming back. I guess that maybe he doesn't want like Light and Darkness Dragon dropped on him or something like that. And he has a pretty good sense that his opponent doesn't seem to have any monsters. And it looks like that's exactly what happened. Down comes Street Patrol. Now, Street Patrol can actually do some damage when it runs over Treeborn. I think it does, what, 300? Because it does, I think, the levels times 100. So, actually, I'm sorry, it's only 100. Alright, so it looks like he attacks directly. Wait a minute, that's a Fiend too. His attack should be 21. This dude should have taken 1,500 more damage by now. If I'm Phoenix, I mean, how do you not know that you have your own Labyrinth on board? This can change the landscape of the game. He activates Soul Exchange now, which that card is about to become completely irrelevant very soon. Uh-oh, double tribute for Light and Darkness Dragon. Is he actually going to run this shit back? Now, if he uses Warning, obviously, you know, there's that, but... Okay. This is incredible. It's not just negative 500, dude. You attacked with 2 fucking Archfiends. It should be negative 1,500. All you have to do is look at all the attacks that you've done so far. Was 2 attacks. No, actually, it was 3 attacks. I counted them. Yep, it was 2 attacks from Archfiend and then 1 from Street Patrol. So you should technically only have, what, 1,300 life points? I mean, it might not matter because, quite frankly, the way that this deck is constructed, Infernity, and the fact that it's so combo based, I don't know if he's gonna be able to get over that lad. I'm just being honest. This is incredible. You're talking about somebody who had 3 breaks and a barrier and is still potentially gonna lose. Alright, so he plays MST and then he plays Lance. Oh, well then never mind, there's that. So lad drops to 2,000 attack. It doesn't negate both. It only negates 1. So it only triggers once. So it has 2,300 attack. Oh, excuse me. No, wait. I'm lunching. Okay, it triggers on the MST. That takes it to 23. And then Lance takes it from 23. It takes 800 off of that. So it's actually 15. Yeah, okay. I'm retarded. So... he's 21. He's 15. Do you understand that he should actually only be at 700 life points and that it would potentially be game if he made a, what's it called? Okay, so he bottomlesses the Risa. It could be game if he made Cowboy. Like, if he just rips anything. Oh, okay. Yep, you're in damage step. Right. No bottomless. Well, that sucks for him. So now he knows what he has too. Street Patrol goes down. Risa's like, yo dog, the fuck out of here, bitch ass Street Patrol. This is incredible. I mean, you look at Infernity, which was a deck that I thought this format would be incredible. I thought it would be a really, really good deck. And he brings back Treeborn. Okay, so nothing doing. He's just going to attack. Now, the one thing that he has going for him is obviously he can rip Soul Charge, and he can just bring back tons and tons of monsters. He's already used his Infernity launcher. So, I mean, he does. Okay, there it is, Soul Charge. He can attack though, but it doesn't matter. If he has 4 level 4s, he can make Cowboy and the sailboat. Again, all he would need technically is 1 Cowboy if they would have like calculated the game state correctly. And I imagine he's going to use well, okay, I was going to say maybe he's going to use I wouldn't just assume that that's game, because if your opponent has Veiler, you'd be a sad ass panda. Like, I would have activated my effects personally. That's just me. I mean, if he doesn't have a Veiler, obviously it is game. Okay, so alright, it was game. It was a pretty sloppy game at that, to be honest. I would have still activated my effects towards the end of the game. I mean, well, I personally wouldn't have, or I wouldn't have needed to, because I would have made sure that my opponent was only at 700, because I would have been counting my field spell attacks. Thus, I would have only needed 1 of those cards to actually resolve. But I have to commend Leedrim for his play. I mean, the fact that his opponent pretty much opened with the nuts. His opponent opened up with 3 barriers, a break, an incredible field, and he got him down to where he was actually neg. He was in a position to where, he had the top deck Soul Charge, the ultimate sack card. So, I can't really blame Leedrim right there. I mean, he played an incredible game. Now, the problem is, I don't think Monarchs really, I don't think that they get any benefit from going first. Like, that's the one problem with this matchup. Okay, so he took second. That's smart. I say that because Monarchs, on your first turn, what can you do? Like, okay, if you have Swap Frog versus Majesty's Fiend, obviously that's the fucking, like, greatest, but that would take 3 cards out of your hand. You know what I mean? Now, unfortunately, okay, there you go. He's going to max him. We saw Armageddon Knight hit the field. Armageddon Knight dump Street Patrol, and then an instant fusion. He's going to max C. And I like this because if you're Monarchs and you go second, obviously you can just draw from max C. You can draw fucking tillion cards. Or, by the way, let me just, I think Armageddon's going to be like a $15 card soon. Damn, I just missed it. Anyways, alright, so he's already sitting on 6 cards. Now he has 7. Like, Monarchs with 7 cards can be fucking, like, that could be a fucking scary deck. Now, granted, he kind of has a lot of reactive cards, and that's what I was thinking. If you Soul Exchange, or if you use the new card coming out in Duelist Alliance, I mean, shit can get real. You know what I mean? The card that makes, like, it basically makes Soul Exchange just, like, you'll never use Soul Exchange again. But what I was thinking is, you can just go, like, if you're going second, you can go Soul Exchange, Majesty's Fiend, or Vanity's Fiend. It's basically GG against Infernity. Okay, so he makes his opponent burn the Trap Stun, which it wasn't a card that was going to do anything in this matchup anyway. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that Phoenix is still running Trap Stun against Monarchs. We see Necromancer come down. I guess he's going to get a break, because Risa can easily just attack over Necromancer. Okay, so he's going to choose... Oh, never mind. He has a Street Patrol in his graveyard. Alright. So he brings out another Necromancer. I was going to say, how does that actually help? That doesn't help him out too much. Because even if he goes Levier and gets Street Patrol back, what is the ends of this play? I mean, you have to make, I guess, a rank for, like, make Utopia and attack. Alright, I guess he's going... He goes Laval Chain. Oh, I guess he can dump Eris in the graveyard, and he can get Archfiend. and then Archfiend can just remove the Street Patrol and get summoned, and then that can get you break. And at least you have more monsters on board if you survive the next turn. Okay, I get that. That does make sense. Okay, so he gets Barrier, which means he probably has a break already. And I guess this is one of those plays where you're more or less setting up for next turn. Yeah, he has the 6 cards, and he knows, like, hey, all I have to do is just kind of live through this turn, and I'll have a field that's pretty much locked down, because his Levier has another target. His Lavalval Chain can obviously send something really good to the graveyard. And as soon as he enters battle phase, he gets hit with that oh-so-powerful Infernity break. And, I mean, obviously the fact that he searched Barrier meant that he probably had that. He's going to set a card. Probably a monster. Or, well, has to be a monster. I'm not really sure what to put him on as far as the monster he just set, because we've seen that he's pretty much searched, or that he's pretty much, he hasn't really used anything that he could set, and that's game. Right there, it looked like he was going to be able to get at least another break because of the field that he had, and then he was probably going to make something like Abyss Dweller to lock out any potential of, you know, like any Ice Hand, Fire Hand shenanigans. And I'm not 100% sure how he would have gotten over like a Dupe Frog, but I mean, he could have just summoned any other just like generic level 4 or rank 4 beater, and that pretty much would have got the job done. So, alright, return of DN commentary. We're going to try and get a ton of games here. Thank you guys for watching as always. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Give the video a big thumbs up if you'd enjoyed it. And, yep, we're going to keep rocking and rolling.